Interact HRMS has a complete talent management suite which contains multiple modules including competency management, performance management, succession planning, career planning, training management, but also training evaluation and progress reporting. What we're going to show you right now is how the training evaluation module ties into all the other aspects of the system. So first thing I'm going to show you is the training evaluation setup, and you'll notice that as usual everything is quite configurable. I won't get into the detail on this right here, but you can see that the scoring mechanism can be multiple choice, it can be a score, it can be open text. We can define exactly what kind of workflow we want to use. We can define the way the questions will appear on the evaluation form and so on. Now, the questions themselves are right here. They're going to be loaded and set up by you. Everything is configurable in our system. So here I have a list of questions which are organized by section and by subject. These sections are also my setup, my choice. Here I have a bunch of sections that I've created, and so what that means is that when you go and organize all your trainings and you use our training development module to do training needs analysis, to have employees register for training, to have them create training plans and so on, and then to attend that training, afterwards it is important that you know what all that money has been spent on and whether it's been spent correctly. And that's why we have the ability to do employee training evaluations right here. And so through the self-service, employees can provide feedback, supervisors can provide feedback, anyone who needs to can provide feedback. And what you notice here is that I have a feedback form, a training evaluation form, which is completely user defined or configurable. You see that I have 5 distinct answers here: poor, fair, good, very good, and excellent. Now this is part of my setup. I just showed you where we configured that. It could have been a score from 1 to 5, could have been 1 to 10, could have been anything you want it to be. I have chosen it to be multiple choice basically with these options. And you see here that I have multiple sections: preparation, content delivery of the training, facilitator of the training, facility, and general satisfaction. And I'll be able to capture the feedback from my employee for this particular course that took place on this date, and I can have the general comments here too. I didn't include those yet, but I'll go in here and add a comment real quick. So I can just add my comments in here, and then once this gets approved, this can go to the training department. It can go to anyone that needs to see this, and if there's a need for an approval process, then you can have them approve this. You can also have a scoring that is done at the section level, where you have an overall score. Depending on how we configure that scoring mechanism, that can be either a percentage, it can be a total number of points gained on that particular section, depends on how you want to calculate that. And obviously this will lead you to generate KPIs and statistics. This information can be made available to all trainers who need to know. It can be made available to the training department and anyone else who's affected by this. So as part of the training evaluation, there can also be an action, an HR action requested, which is to repeat the training with the same or with a different instructor, to not use this instructor or institution any further, or to send a complaint or do whatever else you need to do. Obviously these actions can be user defined, and the approved action will be the one that will be taken ultimately and can be assigned to somebody who is responsible for that. Keep in mind that training evaluations are part of the overall training capabilities of the system. So not only can employees register for training through their self-service, we'll of course have a training history. We will be able to allow them to create training plans or have supervisors create training plans. After that, we will be able to maintain attendance rosters, including daily attendance, and then we can do an assessment of the trainee or an assessment of the training in general and the trainee, depending on how you want to do this. Everything is highly configurable. Like anything else in Interact, you configure the rules. how you want the system to behave. You choose your evaluation subjects, your evaluation sections, and the questions that should be asked during those evaluations. And just to point out one last item, when you create your question bank, you can enter your questions as you like them. You can choose whether they should be rated or whether they should have a multiple choice option, what section they will apply to, and you can also choose which particular course these questions should apply to. In other words, you can have a custom evaluation form depending on the particular course, or if you wanted to, the group of courses that you are evaluating. So while you can have a default evaluation form that applies to all training courses, you can also modify this and have a unique training evaluation form depending on the particular training that you are evaluating. And obviously, all of this is available through self-service for the employee, for the supervisor, for HR, and for anybody else. And the whole purpose is to make sure that the senior management will have an understanding of the efficiency of the training and the satisfaction with the training courses that are being organized and that are being paid for.